from what they did, so that they don't label themselves as bad. They can say what I did was bad.
Yeah.
Right? There's a part of me that wants to do bad things, but that's not who I am. Really, I'm good. You know,
They
and
say that when you're raising children, like you shouldn't say to your son, you're a bad boy. You should say, I love you, you're a wonderful boy, but you did a bad thing. You did a wrong thing.
Right. And that's true even with adults. You know,
Yeah.
you want to, you don't want to. You can say that I will not tolerate your behavior, but I still love you as a person. All right, let's look at text number 3. Let's look at text number 3. Did I say something funny? What was that? No.
Yeah.
Text number 3. Who's up for text number 3? Okay.
Guilt must be carefully controlled. As for sadness connected with spiritual matters, one must seek ways and means of freeing oneself from it. That this applies to karma prayer is obvious, for one must pray to God with joy and gladness of heart. But even if one is occupied in business and worldly affairs, there should descend upon him any sadness or anxiety about spiritual matters during his business affairs. It is certainly a trick of the evil inclination in order to lure him afterwards into lust, God forbid, as it is well known. For if it were not so, whence would a genuine sadness, one that is derived from love or fear of God, come to him in the midst of his business affairs?
So this is the idea. We can identify the guilt for what it is. Where did it come from? It didn't come from controlled thoughts. It came from impulsive feelings. And now I know this is not so. It was something not so kosher here. Text number 4. We'll go through that. Okay?
Whether this depression caused by feelings of guilt over his past settles upon him during his service of God in Torah study or prayer, or when he is occupied with other things, this is what he should consider. Now is not the proper time for genuine sadness or worry, even over grave sins. God forbid. For that one must set aside opportune times, when the mind is calm, to reflect on the greatness of God against whom he has sinned, so that thereby his heart will truly be rent with genuine bitterness.
And the genuine bitterness is talking about the dissatisfaction. You know, there's a saying from the Rabbi that says that what's the litmus test as to what activity you're doing, whether you should engage in a certain activity, is to figure out, will this further Torah mitzvahs or not? It's very simple. And that's true for guilt as well. Okay. And what's also important is another saying. It says that one action is more important than 1,000 groans. Right? So if you're going to move, then you know that there is something worthwhile to the feeling. But if you're not going to, you better run away. The Baal Shem Tov, I believe it was, or maybe it was one of the rabbis, the Kutzker Rebbe. He said that although depression is not a sin, it doesn't say anywhere in the 613 mitzvahs that you're not allowed to get depressed. He says, but the damage that you can cause through depression is worse than any sin. It's potentially worse than any sin. The levels can bring you to. So he said, stay away from it like a sworn enemy. And this is what we're talking about. Whereas remorse that moves you to do something, that's good. But in doses, good doses. Okay. Let's go to the next slide.
I'm going to have to replace this thing right now. It's about 3 minutes going through.
You know what? Hit the slide. I'll be able to. One more time. And one more time.
Zevut Mererut. That's something to know.
Okay, just hit a few times so the whole slide. All right, now we're going to deal with shame. One more time. Go into that again. 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 One more time. There we go. Okay.
All right.
Shame. Garments, faculties, control, no control. Having shame. We talked about thought, speech, and action. Those things you can control. Faculties are your innards and your feelings. And we're going to just deal with the feelings right now. What happens when a person is, you're walking down the street and you feel a desire that you know is really wrong, and you feel ashamed that you had such a thought. How could you even think such? It's so perverted. It's so terrible. What am I supposed to do with that feeling? Sometimes it really gets a person down. They could fixate on it and just ruminate about it and say, oh my God, I must be so terrible because that thought crossed my mind. text number 5. Page 70.
If, however, his sadness does not stem from anxiety over sins that he has committed, but from the fact that sinful thoughts and desires enter his mind, then, on the contrary, he should be happy with his lot. For although these sinful impulses enter his mind, he averts his attention from them, and thereby fulfills the injunction. You shall not follow after your heart and after your eyes, but which you go astray. The above verse surely does not speak of Tzaddik, or how do you say that? Tzaddikim. How do you say that? Tzaddikim. Referring to them as going astray, God forbid. But of Bainanim, like himself, in whose mind there do enter erotic thoughts, whether of an innocent nature or otherwise, and when he averts his mind from them, he fulfills this commandment. Consequently, he should rejoice at his compliance with the injunction, just as he does when performing an actual positive precept.
Okay. So here he's saying that there are some people who forget who they are. We expect too much of ourselves. We expect ourselves not to want to do evil. Well, what's the name of that type of person we learned? As a tzaddik. The person who doesn't want to do evil is a tzaddik. In the proper translation for a tzaddik, in my opinion, is the superhuman. Okay? A tzaddik is not normal. It's not something we even are supposed to try to attain, because it's more of a gift than anything. Some people are born with it, some people get it later in life, but it's not something that's humanly attainable. Some people want to be Superman, and they expect that of themselves, and so they beat themselves up for even wanting the wrong thing. And here the Alter Rebbe is saying, no. A Beinoni is the person who wants it and then holds himself back. And in another part of Tanya, the Alter Rebbe gives this example. In fact, we learned it last week in Parsha, in the Torah reading. We learn of the story of Jacob and Esau, Yaakov and Esau. They were twins. And Esau was the first twin. He was born first, so he was the firstborn. He was entitled to the firstborn blessing. And later in life, when their father, Yitzchak, was ready to give that blessing, he said to Esau, I want to give you a blessing. Go find some animal to hunt and bring me back the animal, prepare it, make a good meal, and I'll give you the blessing. Now, we all know the story. Esau was the evil son. Right? So when Esau's mother heard what was going on, she called Yaakov and she said, quick, pretend to be Esau and get the blessings before Esau does. Right? And the whole story unfolds there. But the Torah uses it when it says that when Yitzchak asked for the meal to be served, that Esau should prepare, there's the phrase that's used is, prepare for me delights that I love, and then I will bless you. What we do just by transforming our thoughts, or by averting our thoughts, is beyond imagination. Let's see the next slide.
All right. New tapes recording.
Okay. And we feel this idea. When we have a desire to do something and then we overcome it, we feel great, right? We don't, then we feel like a loser. But you know what? Even then, that's talking about the guilt. That's the guilt thing we're talking about. Look at every challenge as an opportunity. Okay. Let's take a look at 6. Text 6. Yes, please.
On the contrary, such sadness is due to conceit, for he does not know his place, and that is why he is distressed, because he is upset that he has not attained the level of a tzaddik, to whom such foolish thoughts do not occur. If he knew his place, he would see that he is very far from the rank of tzaddik, and that his greatest aspiration should be to become a Beinoni and not a Rasha, for even a single moment throughout his life. He would also understand that grappling with his impulses is an appropriate task for Beinanim, and it is in fact their very mission in life, to subdue the evil impulse and the thought that rises from the heart to the mind, as explained above.
Okay, so that's the definition